Welcome to your reading. We have a Three of Pentacles in reverse. So there is an issue somebody's having with collaborating with other people when it comes to making money or making connections that have to do with finances. There could be a problem with communication. People could not trust each other. People could be sort of going behind each other's backs. There could even be theft or fraud, perhaps. We have a Tower in reverse. So this is happening, or this feels like it could potentially happen. But what I'm seeing is it's not going to come down in a big explosion. Excuse me. It's not going to come down in a big explosion. But that means it may sort of linger for a while. So if there is some tension within a workplace, or problems communicating, or problems collaborating, or differences of opinions, or like I mentioned, potentially even some fraud or financial dishonesty, there could be some whispers about it, and there could be some talk about it, but there may not be some sort of big exposure that sort of throws it out to the public. This could be sort of hidden behind the scenes or not seen, or only a few people in the group know about it. And because it's not a tower, there won't be a dramatic ending to the situation. Like I mentioned, it could potentially linger without being noticed, or without being investigated, or with only being seen by a few people, but not dealt with. So it could be sort of lingering in the air for months or years or decades without having a definitive ending to the situation, which means it could be potentially incredibly stressful for whoever is involved in this. Especially if there are people who are involved in that Three of Pentacles in reverse situation that weren't specifically involved in whatever it was that happened. They could have just sort of been in loose connection. They could have worked for their organization. They could have taken part in organizing or fundraising, or some kind of process financially, or even loose involvement, partnerships, business partnerships. They could find themselves affected by it as well. And that could be very, very hard for them because they weren't directly involved in the situation, and there is no specific ending to it from what I can see. There's not a big dramatic ending, and it could just sort of be in the ethers, known but not dealt with. Detentions could continue to rise, and whatever this Three of Pentacles is could continue, Three of Pentacles in reverse is, could continue to escalate and continue to happen without anybody doing anything about it. People could be continuing to steal. There could be incredible tensions. People could be going behind each other's backs and trying each other, starting lies about each other. All that sort of thing could continue without there being any dramatic ending, or without there even being any sort of resolution to it. It's good, I suppose, for some people, but for other people, it's the worst thing because there's no ending. There's a Page of Swords. There's something about the Page of Swords likes to know what's going on, and they could potentially want to gather information. There could be somebody around who's talking about it, somebody who's loosely involved in it, somebody who knows a little something about it. Maybe that isn't directly involved, but is aware of it. They could be, they could lack direct knowledge of it. They could sort of be, the way they speak about it is a little bit less formal. They could sort of go to people and sort of say, hey, did you hear about this? And it may not necessarily be that they're saying exactly what happened. There could be pieces of the story missing, or pieces of the story could have been slightly twisted. Or this could be someone who is here desperate to know what's going on. Someone who is going to people and asking what's going on with this, and they're not being direct about it. They're sort of like, so, well, I heard this happened, so do you know what to think about that? And they may get information, and they may not get information depending on who they're asking, because they're not necessarily going about it in a way that, say, a king or a queen or even a knight would go about it. They're going about it in a way where they're sort of like, a little bit more non-committal about it. They're sort of like, well, if I hear something, I'll say something. But if I don't necessarily hear something, it's not going to be anything. It's more of a personal curiosity they have. Like, it's also something to do with consequences. Say the information they have, even if they gather information that's like true, it would be of very little consequences to the outcome itself. So if they know something, they may try to influence the outcome, or they may try to have other people influence the outcome, but there most likely won't be any consequences due to their knowledge of it, or due to what they're able to ascertain from the situation. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse. So the fact that this Page of Wands Page of Swords, pardon me, can't really affect the outcome by being curious. It's sort of like a page boy, you know, the idea where this back at olden times, the little boy or whatever that would hand out the newspapers, they might know something, or they might know who to talk to about something. They might know reporters and things. They might sort of gather information and even tell people about it. But whoever this is in the Three of Pentacles in reverse, if there's several people or a person, usually there's more than one when it comes to the Page of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, pardon me. Usually there's more than one when it comes to the Three of Pentacles. They're most likely not going to feel as if they have to defend themselves. And they're probably not going to be waiting for someone to come at them and ask them, okay, what happened? Or make them accountable, because there is, from what I can see, no evidence that is substantial available. It's hearsay. It's people going behind each other's backs and talking, or people who are arguing in the workplace, or there could have been some illegal activity that nobody can prove happened, and it's not ended. It's not come to a draw of a conclusion. It's not come to an ending. It's not closed itself, and it's still hanging in the air. It's still tense. The situation could still be happening. Or it could be kind of like, okay, so how do we hide this without anybody seeing it? So whoever these Three of Pentacles people are in reverse, they're probably not feeling, like they always need to be worried that someone's going to say something. Because nobody can prove anything. So if this Page of Swords was to go up to this Nine of Wands in reverse and say, it's a Six of Wands in reverse, pardon me. Six of Wands in reverse and say, hey, well, I know that. With it being the Six of Wands in reverse, I'm writing it upside down. Anyway, let's reread it correctly this time. The Six of Wands in reverse is someone who doesn't feel they're winning. Something about feeling like they're not being celebrated, not being seen, or not being noticed. And because I read it like the Nine of Wands in reverse, sometimes there's something there with it. So something about having to defend oneself, or not feeling like they have to defend themselves. So then there's something about people not really being seen or noticed, or feeling like they're winning. With that Page of Swords, somebody knows something. Oh, you know what? There could have been some kind of celebration that was supposed to happen. Some sort of party, or some sort of big get-together, or some sort of something that was supposed to happen. Or somebody was supposed to be seen in some sort of position. Though somebody, maybe someone in that Three of Pentacles, or people in the group of the Three of Pentacles, were supposed to be seen in some sort of position. Maybe they were putting themselves in a position to be seen a certain way. And that could have been why the Three of Pentacles is in reverse, is because there could have been some sort of problems collaborating, because people wanted to be in that Six of Wands, and they didn't want other people in that with them, or they didn't want anybody to tell them they're not supposed to be there. So just because it's not ending in this big kaboom, it's still tense in the air. People are gossiping about it. People want to know about it. People maybe even know stuff about it. Maybe they can't prove it. But I think it took the wind out of somebody's sails. I think somebody was going to, or somebody thought they were going to, be put in a position where people were going to applaud them and clap for them, and they were going to be like seen in some sort of like celebrity or famous, or they were going to have like high status or something, like something that they were doing in that Three of Pentacles was going to promote them or propel them to a higher level of social hierarchy, or people are going to see them and go, oh, wow, you're so cool, I want to be around you. And I think that didn't happen. Maybe they didn't get called out and maybe they can't get called out, or maybe it's still happening. And maybe the only thing people know about it is a little bit of rumors and a little bit of gossip and a little bit of information people are able to ascertain. But whatever it is, something didn't happen for someone or a group of people because they came from that Three of Pentacles in reverse. They weren't getting along in the first place. There could have been something illegal that happened, or it could have been infighting or some kind of problem with the business they were running, or some kind of problem with, if they were running a nonprofit, something was not quite right when they were doing it. So whatever they were going to get out of it, I don't think it happened. And like I said, sometimes when I misread that, there's an aspect of it there. So if they can't get called out for it, then they maybe can't even be seen as anything. That's an interesting way to take it. Say this person can't be made responsible for what they did. Say somebody wants to make them responsible. They want to say, this person did this person's responsible. I want to see them have consequences. You have to prove it. They can't seem to prove it. But at the same time, if this person or these people were supposed to have some sort of big victory, if they were supposed to have some sort of experience of being known and seen and celebrated by a community, they may not get that. It's almost, in a way, it's almost worse than to be made responsible or to be called out by someone or try to be, and then they can't prove it. That stays tense, that stays in the air, that situation keeps happening. It's almost worse for there to not really be an attempt to prove anything happened, because maybe people already know what happened. There could be certain people with that Page of Swords, there could be certain people that were privy to it, that knew what happened, and that they knew they couldn't say anything about it, or they would look a certain way, or they can't prove anything. They only know from their personal experience of it. They can't provide information to say this is the truth. All they know is they saw something, or they were aware of something, and it's non-consequential, really, the thing they say. In the big, long scheme of things, it won't bring the tower into the upright and make the situation end. But it's almost worse for whoever these people were in that Three of Pentacles who wanted to build something, but they built it incorrectly. They took the wrong way to do it, and maybe it was like they were trying to get it done quickly, and they were trying to do it wrong, and like they were trying to do it, maybe they were trying to do it illegally. Maybe there was some infighting and there was some problems in the beginning. So then it almost just fell flat. This has still happened. The tension is still there. People are talking about it. They know about it. They can't have fun and celebrate. These people in that Three of Pentacles, it's like the tension stays in the air. And because they can't celebrate it and they can't achieve anything and they can't have this big feeling of like, oh, we're all, up high and things, they stay under that pressure. I hear that stay under that microscope. Well, there's no one to prove it. Well, people are still going to be talking about it. It's a Knight of Wands here. There's some sort of action. Something about somebody wants to do something, or someone is doing something. Somebody could feel as if it's their duty to prove something happened, or if it's it's like a moral obligation for them to, because they can't sit in that Page of Swords and just sit there and know what happened. They have to do something. So the fact that these people never got to celebrate their win and never got to celebrate their victory could sort of even have propelled someone to take a more action-oriented position on it. This could be someone who's trying to prove something happened and is having a hard time proving it, but they're going to try to prove it anyway because they feel their obligation is to prove it. Or this could be whoever these people are, Three of Pentacles in reverse and Six of Wands in reverse, who didn't get to have what they wanted. And the situation is still tense, and people are talking, and they don't know when it'll end. It's like it's just kind of there, and people are talking, so it could escalate, and it could be terrible. So these people could feel compelled to do something about that. I don't know what that is. They could be compelled to sort of take some action to cover up their identity, involvement in it. They could be taking some action to even escape the situation. Sort of do something to prevent the situation from escalating to the point where it collapses upon them. But for now, it seems to be unresolved.